Welcome, partiers, to the show. This is Party Pass time. This is the show where my good buddy Patrick and I like to talk about all the intimate news and reviews that matters to us of the week. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, it's me. I'm back.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Nice, lazy, rainy day off today.
Oh my god, tell me about it. Dude, so you know I do some traveling with my job.
Yes.
Had a 2-day weekend, so it's just nice to be back home and have like a full week just to myself, really, and do the show too, and just do stuff that I want to do, and at least until next week. And I have to go to Jacksonville this Thursday. I have to drive out there. I'm not looking forward to the drive.
I bet not. Sounds like, I mean, it's pretty far, right? From you, anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
even for me, but it's further for you.
Tell me about it. Last week, though, we did a show out in Minnesota, and we leave the airport. Essentially, we had to drive back by at midnight to pick up one of our other guys. Yeah, midnight. Unfortunately, that was a late one, but we're heading to the hotel, which was like an hour away, and we see Mall of America. I didn't even realize Mall of America was in Minnesota.
Yep.
Let alone being right next to the Minnesota International Airport.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that took us for a loop, and my buddy Chris and I, we decided to hit up Nickelodeon Universe just to let time fly. And dude, that was actually a big surprise.
Yeah. It just has like a big indoor theme park in it.
A big indoor theme park by the characters from Nickelodeon. Really cute. They have a SpongeBob roller coaster. That was a pretty good surprise.
Did you go on the TMNT coaster? Because I've heard that's really fun.
The TMNT coaster. They had a couple of rides, but not necessarily coasters. There was one ride I went on, where it spins around, and you have to lean one side or the other in order for you to flip as the ride spins. What was the name of that one called?
My bad. The TMNT coaster is in New Jersey.
Yeah, so that's something I didn't know. I didn't know there was another Nickelodeon universe at another giant mall here in America. I only knew of the one in Mall of America. I totally didn't know about the American Dream Mall.
Yeah, the American Dream Meadowlands Mall. Yeah.
I'm trying to look up the name of that TMNT ride again. Oh, Shell Shock.
Okay. Yeah, the coaster at American Dream Mall is Shell Razor.
Gotcha. Yeah, Shell Shock is a entirely different ride.
Gotcha.
That was fun to do, though. We pretty much did like all the coasters there. I'm not really much of a coaster guy, but I was pleasantly surprised like how thrilling these coasters are, because it is Nickelodeon. It is going to be more for kids, but the coasters are very family friendly. Think of it like the new ride that Busch Gardens opened up last year, Phoenix Rising, where it's supposed to be like a hybrid coaster, more family friendly. So that way, both kids and adults can enjoy the ride together. It's essentially what all the coasters were at Nickelodeon Universe. It was just a nice surprise in general. I did not expect myself to have like that much fun at a Nickelodeon theme park.
Yeah, I've never been in the Mall of America.
Neither have I. This was my first time. I've always wanted to visit it. I've always wanted to visit the Nickelodeon park just to see what it was like. But it was it brought back a lot of nostalgia for me in a very strange way, because years ago, King's Dominion once had the rights to a lot of Nickelodeon IPs. And so, there would be a Rugrats bumper car attraction, which they had at Nickelodeon Universe. They had weirdly enough, the Kids Dominion also had some Scooby Doo IPs too. One of them was a those like shoot 'em ups, like what Men in Black is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like shooting galleries.
Shooting galleries, yeah. A lot of meet and greets. Unfortunately, like years ago, Paramount decided to back out on renewing their contract, so there really wasn't any like attractions for Nickelodeon, unless you want to count the Nickelodeon Hotel, which is now defunct over at when it was in Orlando at the time. But other than that, like there just really wasn't any attractions for Nickelodeon, and I'm actually glad it came back because, like I said, it just brought back a lot of great childhood memories going to Kings of Dominion. Pat, we have quite the show today. We're talking about the finale of Cobra Kai, the new Spider-Man show. We're going to talk about Captain America, The Brave New World. Let's start off with our off the top segment, though. The news that just was announced a couple days ago. We're getting a new Avatar series, Avatar 7 Havens.
Yes. Interesting. I know there were some leaks about this beforehand, but I was ignorant to them. So I actually had no idea that this was going to be announced. And seems pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. I don't know if you follow the Avatar Rewatch podcast that Dante Bosco and the voice actress for Korra does. I forgot her name, Zaina or something like that.
No, I've never even knew that existed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I will certainly watch it now.
Yeah, so that's where I actually heard the announcement. It was on their social media, announcing the 20th anniversary of Avatar: The Last Airbender, which makes me feel old as fuck. First of all. But in that, they also announced the new show and also the return of their podcast. Where that now they're going to talk about the Legend of Korra show. This is what was said actually on the Hollywood Reporter. Nickelodeon has greenlit an animated series set in the world of the beloved Avatar: Last Airbender. The new show, titled Seven Havens, has a 26-episode order and will follow the new Avatar. Avatar: Last Airbender creators Michael and Brian are behind Seven Havens as well. The initial order will be split into 2 parts of 13 episodes each and is in production from Nickelodeon's animation studio Banner. Casting and premiere has yet to be announced. Seven Havens is, according to the show's description, set in the world shattered by a devastating cataclysm. A young Earthbender discovers she's the new Avatar after Korra, but in this dangerous era, that title marks her as humanity's destroyer, not savior. Hunted by both human and spirit enemies, she and her long-lost twin must uncover their mysterious origin and save the Seven Havens before civilization's last stronghold collapse. That's a very interesting plot synopsis. Cool. Yeah, definitely. And especially since we've already have 2 seasons. In this case, they're known as books in the Avatar universe for how they label their seasons. It's labeled books. The fact that we already have 2 books already planned out is something it's something worthwhile. And I say that because with Korra, Michael and Brian, they weren't really sure if Korra was ever going to be renewed each season. So that's why each season it followed its own storyline. Unlike Avatar, where it followed a storyline all 3 seasons, each season was more of its own thing, really. Which was, in some cases, really good in Korra. In other cases, it was also its downfall. I know for some fans, the series finale was a bit underwhelming. If you follow the fandom pretty well, you know that season 2 is not really the fan favorite of the whole series of Korra.
Yeah.
For good reason too. I would agree on that. So the fact that we already have 2 seasons already planned out, I think is already on the right track.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
Ever since they added the Last Airbender show on Netflix, like which I think was like around 2020. So like around that time to like now, I've just seen this big celebration of the show. A lot of people coming back to the show, and and also same for Core when they added that on Netflix too. So it's just really good to see old fans coming back, new fans, igniting that flame too for them. Lots of Avatar to be a lot of Avatar content that we're going to be getting. I remember when they announced a new Avatar movie with Michael and Brian making that, which I believe will be centered on adult Aang, if I remember the news.
Yeah, it's after The Last Airbender, but before Korra.
Korra, yeah. So we got that. We got the Netflix show. I thought the Netflix show was all right. It had its issues, but I think it was still fun to come back to that world. Yeah.
It was very just okay.
Yeah. So we got that. We got this new series coming out. Also, all the books and comics that we're going to be getting too.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the concert's on tour right now, if I recall too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know if it started. I think it started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember seeing the advertisement for tickets.
Yeah, just lots of Avatar content, and honestly, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Pat, let's go and move on to a new segment on the show. I like to call What's on TV, starting with the series finale of Cobra Kai. The Cobra Kai season 6 was released in 3 parts. Parts 1 and 2 didn't really need a lot of it didn't meet a lot of critical praise. A lot of slow stuff, a lot of rehashing old subplots, which I understand. It kind of begs the question now, where does season 6 part 3 come in? I really enjoyed it. A lot of things I really believe, Pat, were rushed in this series finale. There was a lot of plots they had to finish up pretty quickly. They did bring in a handful of new characters in this final season too, so they had to finish those storylines too, finish up some arcs. It was a rushed finale, yet still satisfying, and that's what I really loved about Cobra Kai. When the show would dip, and it wouldn't dip severely, with the slightest dips this show has had throughout its run, they've always managed to come back up. So that's why I was still on board with season 6 parts 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
In part 2, they do end on a major cliffhanger. Everyone was asking where this was going to go. By the way, I am keeping this spoiler free. So, because I'm assuming, Pat, you still have not yet watched it yet.
Haven't even started yet. I'm a busy guy.
Yeah, man. I will say this: if you are, which I know you are, Pat, because I am too. If you're a fan of like, if you're a fan of like 80s, 90s nostalgia, Cobra Kai definitely has that.
Yeah.
I hope this is not necessarily a spoiler, but they do bring back the song "You're the Best Around" from the original Karate Kid movie.
Yeah.
As a training montage, which I thought brought a lot of stuff full circle, and then that's what I love about part 3 as well. Just a lot of things come full circle, not just with the show itself, but from previous Karate Kid movies too.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't started the show yet, but I've been seeing comments that people seem to really enjoy this finale, and they think it's a good send off and it's enjoyable.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm happy that they managed to stick the landing, because this has been, I mean, honestly, this show has been going on for way longer than I thought it would. When it was, because I mean, I'm sure you remember this was a YouTube Red original series.
Oh, dude, that's when that's where I first started watching Cobra Kai. I literally, I would get my subscription, watch Cobra Kai, end my subscription, and then renew it again when season 2 came out.
Right.
Because that's all I cared about. I just cared about Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
When it moved to Netflix, I did have my concerns. Of course, everybody did. Um, I'm just glad the show has stayed pretty consistent.
Yeah.
One of my favorite shows. Oh yeah, no, even though it had some dips, this is still one of my new favorite shows, and I'm honestly glad it had the run it did. Um, this show really defeated all odds from starting off as a show on fucking YouTube out of all places.
Yeah. Does YouTube Red even exist anymore?
No,
Or-
it rebranded as YouTube Premium. They don't even do like original content anymore.
Gotcha.
It's more like
Okay.
Spotify Premium, just no ads.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
No ads.
yeah,
You get YouTube Music with it. I know
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's really it. So I mean, I have Premium. I don't really use Spotify as much because I can just use YouTube as my whole like one and all kind of thing. If that makes sense, I have YouTube and YouTube Music.
Mhm.
Never really tried Spotify Premium, but you know, that's kind of like a whole different topic though. But yeah, man, I am really curious to know where they're going to take this with the new Karate Kid movie coming out, Karate Kid Legends, with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio.
Mhm.
Because there wasn't like any teases of the movie at the end, like not like any Marvel style post credit scenes. Which, to be fair, if I remember correctly, when the movie was announced, they did say that they weren't really gonna tie anything in with the movie and the Cobra Kai show. We might get like some stuff like in passing, but I do know that they just want the movie to be its own thing and not really rely on too heavy on the Cobra Kai show, which honestly I'm all for. But yeah, Cobra Kai season 6, part 3, the series finale. Really good stuff. I'm glad it had the send off it deserves.
Sweet. Happy to hear it. I will continue to say that I'll watch it eventually, and then probably won't. But we'll see.
Pal, let's go ahead and move on from Cobra Kai to the a new show that Marvel released on Disney Plus, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yes.
I
I have not finished this one yet. But from what I have seen, which is the first 7 episodes, I like this a lot, actually. When they were first showing off the trailers, I really fucking hated the animation.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, man.
Really, really, really did not like the animation at all from the trailers. And to be fair, I still don't love the animation. I like it more within the context of the full show than I do the trailers. So it's got that going for it. But actually, this is a genuinely interesting, unique take on Spider-Man and his origin story with really solid writing and great performances by the actors all around. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Pat, I do agree with you on what you said. When the trailer came out, yeah, I wasn't really crazy about how the animation was looking. I get what they were going for, having the whole comic book feel the same way that they did for Spider-Verse, but the animation did look a little choppy in the trailer. I'm surprised how smooth it was in how smooth it looked watching the actual show. Still a little. The animation was a little jumpy at some points, but honestly, I think those are just nitpicks by this point. But I do got to be honest about one thing: the first 2 episodes did not catch my attention at all. I was a little bored.
That's fair.
I didn't really like some of the stuff that was being built up. Noticeably on Dr. Connors, not necessarily because of the change they did. Well, I take that back. It was a little bit of the change, and in this case, Dr. Connors is female. The way I've always looked at it, Pat, you might disagree with me because I know you're a big Spider-Man head, probably a bigger fan than I am. But the way I see it was like Dr. Connors did fill that that empty fatherhood that Peter was missing. And because
It sort of depends on what run of the comics, I guess.
right, yeah. And just having, I mean, you make a good point there, but just, with Aunt May uh, being alive in this show,
Yeah.
it was like, okay, so we got two mother figures. But to be fair, they didn't even do much with Connors after those first two episodes.
No, not really.
But honestly, those were just initial thoughts from the first two episodes. But
Yeah.
Once everything did get built up and executed, it did catch my attention after episode 3. I really liked where they took the character of what's his name? He's Tombstone. His real name.
Adrian too.
Adrian. Very different.
Yeah.
Very different. I love the fact that in this show, Peter is pretty much making friends with characters who we know will be villains later on. So if they decide a season 2, if they decide to go down that route of like of betrayal by his friends, dude, that's gonna be one big hit on Peter in this show. And if they decide to do that, that's gonna be one hit in the gut because I love what they did with Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
In this show, him helping Peter. He's not this evil guy that we know of. Is there some sketchy stuff happening? Yes, there is, and we see that in this episode. But so far, he's not becoming the Green Goblin that we know of. We get little hints. We do see the glider at one point. But overall, like Norman, Harry, Dr. Connors, and Adrian, all friends with Peter that we know will turn into vile villains later on.
Yeah.
I love that subtle exposition there. And that's what I love mostly about this new Spider-Man show. It's a lot of show, don't tell. And I think they did it at a pretty solid pace too.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 episodes is a bit short for the modern streaming era, I feel like.
I mean, to be fair, to be completely fair, the last arguably the last good Spider-Man show that they did, it was a pretty short run too. It was Spectacular Spider-Man. Each season only had 13 episodes, so I don't see it being too far off, really.
That's fair. Hopefully it doesn't take forever for a new season to come out, because I mean, we've had these discussions before about the modern streaming era. Just deeply annoying how long we have to wait for new stuff.
Right.
So hopefully it doesn't take too long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to finishing it. And because I've heard the finale is extremely good.
It was a pretty solid season finale. A lot of build up to for future storylines to happen. Again, I love what they did with Adrian, and there was a lot of good teases happening there. You're gonna you said he's having episode 7, right?
Yep.
Oh, dude, these 3 episodes are definitely gonna be worth your time.
Sweet. Looking forward to it.
Patrick, let's go ahead and move on to our last segment of the day. This is our movie talk segment, everybody, and today we're gonna discuss Captain America: Brave New World. I'm gonna read the plot synopsis real quick, Pat. Sam Wilson, new Captain America, finds himself in the middle of an international incident and must discover the motive behind a nefarious global plan. So, Pat, the new Captain America movie gets announced. We get a pretty solid trailer that shows a lot of Red Hulk. You have Harrison Ford playing Thaddeus Ross. Rest in peace, William Hurt, by the way. you have all these promising things coming in for this new Captain America movie. You have Sam Wilson now taking up the mantle after the events that happened in the show Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So where does this take place? Wait, let me rephrase that. Where does this fall if you were to rank your Marvel movies? I gotta admit, Pat, the ranking it's going to be pretty low. And that's unfortunate to say because I was really looking forward to this new movie, but there was a lot of with what I said about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, there was a lot of show and tell. This movie was the complete opposite. It was a lot of tell don't show. It was very exposition heavy. When the exposition would happen, it came across a little goofy at some points. Yeah, man, this was this movie was a bit messy.
A bit.
Oh man, I can already tell you're going to be a little more critical than me, Pat.
Movies movies all over the place, dude.
Oh man.
And I know it's due in no small part to the fact that they reshot this for I don't know, seemingly dozens of times,
Right.
if you're to believe the rumors and behind the scenes reports. Yeah, I don't like this movie at all. This is probably like a bottom 5 or bottom 3 Marvel movie for me.
Oh wow, it's going to be that low.
I don't like it at all.
Wow.
Like I can find some redeeming qualities about most other Marvel movies, right? And this just bored me to tears. And I was just not invested in any of this. I think it's I think it's sloppy. I think it's overstuffed. I think the CGI is pretty bad across the board. I think Anthony Mackie is a highlight of this movie for sure. I like his performance as Sam. I think he admirably takes up the mantle of Captain America in this movie. And I like Harrison Ford in this movie a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I will say Harrison Ford had pretty big shoes to fill. And honestly, like despite what we think about the movie, and I find this very funny too because Harrison Ford is someone that will heavily criticize the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
He had you can tell he had a lot of fun doing this movie.
Yeah, he seemed like he had a blast.
Yeah.
Even especially on the press tour. I almost gotta wonder what the original version of this movie.
Right. Yeah. I've heard rumors, but when they casted Giancarlo Esposito, I've heard rumors that's when they started doing reshoots because rumor has it that he was a last minute he was like last minute casting.
Yes, I believe his presence in the movie was literally added at the last minute.
Right, yeah. So which sucks because he's such a he's a great actor. Breaking Bad and The Mandalorian and now being in the Star Wars. Now being in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. He's really good in Maxine too. He's just like anything he does.
Yeah.
Is really solid.
He gives he gives it his all. But
he does his best.
I do like the character that Seth Rollins plays. I feel like him and Anthony Mackie's chemistry was pretty solid.
Yeah.
I don't remember though if Seth Rollins was in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, if I recall.
He was not.
He was not. Yeah. So Um, would have had I would have liked some more stuff with the new Falcon. Um, again, I just a lot of there should have been a lot more show don't tell. But
it feels way overstuffed.
yeah, for
And there's
real.
like there's tons and tons and tons of Easter eggs in this.
Hmm.
And for what? Like they add nothing interesting to the movie. They allude to next to nothing that actually has a payoff whatsoever. It's just
How do you feel about
it's just kind of annoying.
how do you feel about Tim Blake Nelson coming back as Samuel Stearns?
Sure, you know.
I felt like his I felt like his character was probably the weakest part of this whole movie.
I'm just so apathetic about it. You know what I mean? Like it's just I feel like I just don't cared about anything
Right?
in this. I didn't care about anything in this movie at all.
Yeah, for
And then
real.
like Red Hulk is plastered all over the marketing for this movie. He's in every trailer. He's on every poster. He is everywhere. He is in the last 20 minutes of the movie. It is he like Red Hulk, the thing that they marketed the whole movie around is the climax of the movie. He is barely in the movie, and they have kind of a little they you know they kind of scuffle. You know they have albeit kind of too short, but like they have a pretty good fight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's at least modestly entertaining, and then he just fucking talks to him, just like I saw. I saw this. I literally after I saw it in the theater, I saw somebody upload the scene where he just like talks him down on YouTube,
Hmm.
and I saw the top comment on the post was, "Hey, big guy, the budget's getting real low," and I just like, God, dude, it's just so disappointing.
I know with Marvel, a lot of critics and fans alike will say that the villains are weak, and in some cases they are. Dude, haven't the reason why I asked about Tim Blake Nelson was because I just did not like his villain plot
Yeah,
at all. It made no sense. He's mind controlling everybody through their cell phones. Why can't he just do that to the one target he's trying to do, which is literally Thaddeus, or in this case, do it to Sam or his sidekick. But you're gonna instead you're gonna do that to just oh no you're gonna do that to the guards. You're gonna do that to like what's stopping him from holding back his punches to prove what point exactly that
yeah,
Thaddeus is Red Hulk. That was a pretty convoluted plot to get to Red Hulk.
yeah. Pretty annoying. Pretty, I don't know. This movie's just annoying.
Yeah, dude.
I just did not enjoy this at all. There were some parts of it that I thought were like all right.
Hmm.
Um, but for the most part, I mean, I don't remember the last Marvel movie that I thought sucked this hard. Eternals, maybe?
I was gonna say for me it was Eternals. I
I
was
mean,
highly
I
disappointed.
mean, I don't, I don't like Love and Thunder very much,
Hmm.
but I mean, at least at least I kind of enjoyed myself
Right?
at
Yeah,
some parts
yeah.
watching it. This I just nah. Start to finish, this feels like such a wasted potential. I just I'm so curious to know what the original
Right.
version of this
Yeah.
movie looked like
Yeah.
before all the reshoots, and I guess studio interference. I have no idea. I just
If there's studio interference, I'm honestly surprised to hear that coming from Marvel.
like I said, I have no idea.
Right.
I was more bored watching this than I was watching Thor: The Dark World.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Now, to be fair, I haven't watched Thor: The Dark World since 2013.
Oh, same dude.
So like I probably fucking hate it now. Like I mean I didn't like it back then, but I'd probably really hate it. But at least as of right now, as I remember it, uh I feel like this is at least as boring.
Right.
So,
Yeah, Marvel's not on a. They're not on the best track record anymore, and
it's like it's flip flopping.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we get peak Marvel, like I don't know, Agatha all along, and then we get bad Marvel, like this, and then it just kind of goes in cycles. You
Yeah.
know?
I mean,
Like
well,
we had Quantumania, which is dog shit, and then and then I don't know.
I mean,
We had Deadpool and Wolverine, which was pretty fun. Like,
yeah. I mean, we got Fantastic Four coming out later this year. We got Thunderbolts coming out pretty soon. They do look promising.
I'm hoping we hit the upswing, man.
Yeah. I mean, we're coming close through the new Avengers movie. We got to get some kind of build up.
It's just
happening
getting hard
soon.
to care. It's just getting hard to care.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude. And I do want to say too, it's getting a little hard to catch up too. There's a couple of shows I still need to watch. I still need to finish What If. I still need to watch Echo. I haven't finished X-Men 97 yet. Funny enough.
show.
Yeah, yeah, dude. But I still need to finish that. Oh yeah, I totally missed out on the Marvels. I haven't even seen that one yet.
I think that one's pretty fun.
Okay. That's good. That's refreshing to hear because I've heard a lot of flack from that movie. So saying that it's actually fun is a little refreshing.
Yeah, no, I think it's fun. I mean, I thought the Miss Marvel show was also pretty fun. So
Oh yeah, it was. I'm sure there's a couple of other shows I'm missing on that list, but
I mean, Daredevil's just around the corner.
I know, dude.
So.
Oh man, I definitely need to watch that at least.
Yeah. I hope it's good.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, coming back to Spider-Man, I was actually pleasantly surprised to see Daredevil come in and Charlie Cox voicing.
Yeah, man.
That was
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise. I'm glad to see some of the Netflix content sneak its way back in again. And with that, everybody, the party will come to an end this week. Thank you all for tuning in. I know I normally have something planned for the next show, but I really don't. It's been kind of a slow news week, but with all the new releases, so we'll come back when we feel like it. How's that sound? All right, man. But until then, Pat, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at PattyWiseTheClown, and you can follow me on Backlogged at BlackStarRaider.
Any new games you're going to review on your backlog coming up?
Well, let me think. I posted a review for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black a couple days ago.
Sweet.
The next thing I review will probably be Monster Hunter Wilds because that comes out on Friday. So we'll see.
Sweet. All right, and you can find me at Tommy.Zombie on Instagram. Thank you all for tuning in, and as always, party on, partiers.